your soul where? And you do it being a father, right? How has that affected your mentality?
I've never felt this passionate about music. I think that has a lot to do with having my children now. Before it was just me. And, you know, I was running around doing what I want to do, but having my family and having my children, like, it helps me to become greater in all aspects of life.
But you guys get a lot of flack, man, you know, for not getting married, you know what I'm saying? For, you know, being absentee dads, I feel is a terrible stereotype because
it does piss me off. And I think it's because it might be just the people that they see. It's like a small sample size.
Right, because the money's in the shows, you know?
The money's definitely in the shows, and it's important to, even if you do have a show that is 10, 15 people, make sure you introduce yourself to all 10, 15 people.
Why did you choose to develop a website for yourself?
I actually work with hitmaker.com. It's a new company. Like, they're gonna be, I definitely challenge everybody to check it out. They're gonna be huge soon. I was one of the first people on that platform.
You mention again what that program is so that people know?
It's actually headphones. It's called Slate VSX headphones by Slate Digital. Steven Slate, the guy he used to run the company. I think he sold it, but he created that. I think he's a genius for making that.
You're registered on the DSPs. There's a button you click to make it available on social networks.
For
correct?
Sure.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
He'll be performing today. Where are you going to be performing today? What song you got for us today?
Barista, off my new project, Good Coffee Club.
I let the beat play. Baby, this the cheat day. Went from college dropout to graduate. I need the meat, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another action-packed edition of the Angel of Words podcast. I am your host, Angel of Words. Before we get started, don't forget to tap on that subscribe button. Follow us on all podcast platforms. Spotify has video now, and it will be on there, so follow us on there as well. Also, the podcast today, sponsored by Curtis Holmes, Eyes of the Soul. Go get that book available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, a horror fiction novel written by a black man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, go holler at my boy Curtis Holmes. Go get that book. Also, BJS Photography. Go get them photos. As I mentioned before, anybody that's a guest on the Angel of Words podcast gets a 30% discount on a photography shoot. So take advantage of that, past, present, or future people, and also holla at him, man. He gives you a great rate. So BJS Photography, go get those photos. If you want to know what's happening in the Angel of Words universe, also go to @AngelofWordsENT on all social media platforms and AOWENT.com, where you will get some more exclusive content from the Angel of Words podcast, where you will not be able to find on social media. If you want to donate to the content creator and the company, it is Cash App AOWNYC. They jacked the ENT. I don't know who it is, but they jacked it. So it's Cash App AOWNYC. Now on deck from Newark, New Jersey. We got Spitz Nelson in the building. Spitz Nelson is here. Yo, bro, thank you for pulling up, brother. I know that you came in from, New Jerusalem. You're here now, man.
Nah, it's my pleasure, man. I was looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
No, man, thank you for, choosing our platform, man. You know what I'm saying? It really makes us feel valid when people come from other states to come and have a conversation with us, man.
Oh.
You know, because we really care about the artists, their journey. Everybody has to tell their truth. Mm-hmm. And, we're here to have you speak to us, man. Let us know what's up with your projects and shit. You know how it is.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I was excited to get here, so I'm looking forward to letting y'all know what's going on in life right now. So
now, Spitz, let's get into it, bro. All right. Rebuild, the new project. What's happening right now? Let's just get into the music. And Spitz Nelson will be performing today, folks. So don't forget, he'll be performing today. Where are you going to be performing today? What song you got for us today?
Barista, off my new project, Good Coffee Club. So it's the third installment of the EP series, Good Coffee Club. So That's the first track that I'm gonna let everybody hear today. So.
I love it. A coffee man. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
man. That's my life, hip hop and coffee.
That's it. I went to the new coffee house right down the block today. So it's hilarious that we're having this conversation.
I gotta check it out because I also do like coffee reviews. So a lot of times when I'm traveling, on my IG, of course at Spitz Nelson, you can check out some of the reviews. I go to a lot of coffee shops when I'm traveling just with the family. So I'm probably looking forward to doing like 50 more coffee shops within the next 6 months. Just doing reviews, seeing how the aesthetics are and seeing what their best coffee is. So.
Bro, 4 right around the corner. So I suggest you
pulling
go
up.
hit those up,
I'm
man.
pulling up.
I had some valid iced coffee today. You know, I don't drink coffee hot. I don't like, hot things, but except for women, obviously. But yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, man. If you like coffee, I had some good coffee today. So right around the block, Steinway, you know the vibes. Now, Spitz, let's continue on. Everybody knows you're gonna be performing today, but you have the new project coming out. How do you feel about it, man?
I feel amazing about just releasing the new music because I had took so much time off, really. I would say within the past 3 years, it's been like a little crazy as far as time. Me and my wife just had twin boys last year, and I got a 3-year-old son. So I was really so locked into just family, but music is still like life. You know what I mean? I tell people that all the time. No matter what I'm doing, music is my center, you know what I'm saying, outside of family. So I'm just excited to be able to be creating at this point in time. And the last two, Good Coffee Club 1 and 2, they were received really well. So it was like, you know what? I got to keep this trend going with these installments. And we just been cooking up, man. We've been cooking up a lot of dope stuff. And for people who really don't know what the Good Coffee Club idea comes from, it really came from me having limited time, like I spoke about, just not having too much time, but me commuting to the city, every day commuting for work. I'm heading to Soho every day. And the only time I had to write was on the train. And I noticed two things that were in common. It was put my headphones on, listen to the beats by my producer Slim, drink my coffee. So I'm on the train, I'm writing, I'm making music, whether I'm sitting down, and all these great ideas are coming to me. So I don't know where it came from, but I said, yo, this is like a good coffee club. This is a coffee moment. Like every time I'm sipping this coffee, I get creative ideas. So then I would take those ideas and go to the cafe by my house. So I would go to the cafe by where I used to work at. And I would turn those cafes and turn those moments into creative spaces. So it wasn't my normal formula, but it turned out really great. And you're getting Good Coffee Club 3, and I'm super excited.
Spitz Nelson, describe the name, why you chose to go with that artist.
So the name, I actually didn't name myself. A lot of artists name themselves. I didn't get an opportunity to, but I played college basketball in Boston at Fisher College. And I remember riding on the bus, and I was always rapping and writing. So a good friend of mine, Kesson, he played on the basketball team too. He was like, yo, Spitz, you're always spitting. And from that day forward, literally everybody in college was calling me Spitz. I would do the talent shows. I was killing the talent shows. I was battling. My boy is here too, Rich. He recalls me really getting it in on the battle tip, like battling people, and just that name just stuck. It was Spitz for a while. And then I remember one day I was at home. A friend of mine's ex-girlfriend was at home, and everybody was smoking. We were vibing, and she said, Spitz, I like that name, but it's something missing. She said, what's your last name? I said, Nelson. She said, Spitz Nelson. And literally, like, I've rocked with that name ever since. So I think Spitz Nelson is a combination of my artist self and my real life self. And I just combine them together. And that's why a lot of my projects and a lot of my lyrics and a lot of my songs, they mean so much to me. And it also is explaining a lot of things I've been through, because I try to keep my music as close to what's in here and my real self as much as possible. So the name I wasn't given, but it stuck with me, and it's, I've had it for years. So
what I like about your music is that there's a lot of storytelling involved. And I feel that's an aspect of music that now gets overlooked, or it's a lost art, however you want to look at it. What makes you want to tell a story when you're spitting, when you're in the studio, making music? Because Rebuild is a story about perseverance, man. You know what I'm saying? So, discuss why storytelling is so important to you.
So I feel like storytelling is important to me because I'm really giving people kind of like the underdog story. Like, I'm giving people not always the glamorous type of lifestyle. I'm giving people like the struggle and the things that I've been through, from coming from here, like how I grew up. Like I grew up with nothing. Like I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. Sometimes people will hear me speak or they see how I move and they would never know that. But if they really get a glimpse of everything, I grew up really like on the bottom. Everybody say, oh, I got it from the mud, I got it from the bottom, whatever it is, whatever they say. But I really grew up with having nothing, like, holes in my sneakers, holes in my shirt. My parents, both of them, have handicaps. So we didn't have a lot of the things growing up. And as I got older, I realized like that was going to be a part of my story. That's going to be a part of my story to show people like it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And every day I try to put it in my head like, yo, I'm gonna get 1% better. The challenges that I faced, I'm gonna make sure I overcome them, and I'm gonna put that through my music so they feel the underdog turns into the champion. So that's why it's a lot of storytelling and a lot of things like that in my music.
Newark has changed a lot over the years, but man, if there is the epitome of gritty, Newark to me is like, yo, bro. I mean, even growing up in Harlem, you do not fudge with motherfuckers from Newark.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it light. Keep it
Yeah.
light and
It's
sweet.
a
Newark is
different-
not an easy town to grow up with. Let's keep it a bean.
Nah,
man.
it's a different feel. And a lot of people who don't know Newark, they don't understand that. But if you go to Newark, you'll see, like, soon as you get, even if you just come in through the train, soon as you get to that Penn Station, you feel it. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely changed a lot, but it's definitely still gritty. And, my thing was my dad, he moved us out of Newark when I was about 10. Like, it was so crazy at that age. He was like, yo, I got to get y'all out of here. And later in life, I moved back. And I'm like, damn, this shit still, you know what I mean? So it has its good and it has its bad. So I'm hoping we're able to build it up a little more, though. So
does that experience, I feel like it's influenced your music. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think seeing that as a child made me realize, like, I don't want to continue this way for my life. It made me see, like, this type of struggle, this adversity that people face. Like, I don't see myself being this age and, having these circumstances. If I live there, cool. And if I'm in a better spot in life, great. But I just looked at it like, dang, there's so much opportunity. Like, I don't want to be stuck here. You know what I'm saying? At least how I was living at that time. So.
Rebuild. Could you discuss the motivation behind that track, which I absolutely enjoyed? Anyone, if you have a chance to go and stream that on Spotify, it's available now. You know what I'm saying? But, how do you feel about that track?
So Rebuild is actually, it's a song that I had with a producer named Carlito. Shout out to Carlito. He's out of Florida. A lot of people have been reaching out to me, and Carlito reached out to me about 1.5 years ago, and we started working on music. When he sent me the beat, I was like, I'm gonna hum with this, I'm gonna chill with it, I'm gonna sit with it. But then I started thinking of like building blocks from the ground up, like how sometimes things fall apart and you really gotta restructure and build it back up. So Rebuild was just me just kind of telling people like, yo, it might fall apart, but you got to get your shit together and build it back up. So I love that song. I love the beat. It gives me a good feeling even listening to it, even after I wrote it. So I love his production, and I love the opportunity for me to speak from my heart a lot of times and just share people and hopefully motivate, share with people.
Now, I noticed you're involved in the production process. Now, do you make a lot of your own beats? Because I love them. I feel like it has that old school soul, that grittiness. You know what I'm saying? It really puts you in the mindset of the artist. Now, I know that I've seen on your gram, you fudge with a little bit with the production. Do you make your own beats now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I do make my own beats, but I haven't really put out any music. I haven't really put out, I have so many producers right now, like Slim. I'm blessed because Slim is another producer who I actually got to shout out Slim. I've been working with Slim since he was 17 years old. I had a studio in Florida that I was working out of, and I met Slim, and he was a young kid at the time, and we've forged a relationship where he's actually the only producer I've worked with on Good Coffee Club projects. So he's done all the beats for those EPs. I do have a kind of like, I do give my input, but he's just so dope. I really don't even have to, man. I always say, let people do their thing. Like, we'll collab, we'll meet at the middle. Like, I'm dope with the lyrics, he's dope with the beats. If we have something that clashes, we talk about it, we fix it, we work together. But everything, it's not a one-man show with me, but I do make beats. And when on my Instagram, a lot of times I'm recording. I have my own studio in my house, so I record all my own stuff. I also have a dope engineer, my mix engineer. He's on Instagram too. He's official. He he basically makes me sound great on all my records. So I got a team, but I do like making beats as well. So
Yo, shout out to him, bro, because your production is valid, right?
I appreciate
I always
it.
look for that, right? It's like, I want to get as many people up here as I can, correct, right?
Mhm.
But I also want their music to sound great because that way, it makes my production,
Of course.
better for them. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
So, I appreciate you. So shout out to your engineer. He's
Appreciate
valid.
it. Yeah, man. Maybe.
Do you guys sit down and do split sheets? With your producer is like a word. Is it like verbal agreements? Like, how do
Yeah,
you go
we
about
actually,
it?
so we do the business, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we do it like, obviously we're friends, like the people I name, like we're close, we're close knit, but I also feel like we do business, we're professionals as well. So we do the business, we do splits, even with my engineers, like we do splits, like I feel like they deserve it. A lot of engineers, they making the records nowadays. If you hear some of these records without the engineers, like a lot of people will be surprised. So we do business, like we work together, and I make sure that if anything happens, like my team is good, so we definitely do splits though.
All right, that's what's up, man. And have you gone out of your way to because I know you got stuff on SoundCloud. Usually artists put stuff on SoundCloud that they're just playing around with, right? And then you got your stuff that's on Spotify. Did you register all that stuff?
Yeah, so everything. So I try to tell this to a lot of artists too. You gotta be serious about your craft. So everything is registered through ASCAP. Everything is registered through Sound Exchange. Like everything, I try to be professional as I can to make sure, because I know it's gonna go somewhere, and when it does, I want it to be ready. I don't want to have to do anything later. So everything's registered, and I learned from some good people. I mean, back in the day, it was really just me reading a lot of books and just learning about the industry and learning about the ins and outs. Even if I wanted to be major, I still would want to know, but I had always chose an independent route. So I wanted to learn this stuff myself. And everything is professional.
Why did you choose Sound Exchange?
So I chose Sound Exchange because I want to be able to collect all my royalties. I want to be able to make sure that if anything is played anywhere, like they can collect the royalties for me. I don't have to worry about like internet radio. I've been getting some plays, in different places around the country, some places out of the country. So I want to be able to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I'm not leaving any dollars on the table, because I work hard and it's a passion of mine, but it's cool when you get rewarded as well and people play music, and you just keep account of, everything that's going in and coming out.
Why did you choose ASCAP over BMI?
ASCAP, that was just a friend of mine at that time. He told me about it, and he was telling me about he was basically telling me about the festivals they have. He was telling me about the panels they have. And I went to their site and I was like, oh, this is cool. They have events for artists where you can go in and meet writers and meet singers. And then I found out some of my favorite artists were under ASCAP as well. So I was like, you know what? Sign me up for ASCAP. Later, I found out there was so many other PRO companies and stuff like that. So I just been with ASCAP for so long, and, I've never had no issues. It was one point in time I had a song called Greatest Feeling Ever, which was on a project called Closer Than You Think. And that was doing so well on college radio. It had a shot up to I think number 2 or number 3 in the country for college radio. So I looked up one day and I was like, oh, snap. The promoter, he sent me a snapshot of my song on TV, on Music Choice Channel. He sent it to me a couple times. And I was like, yes, I'm glad I had all my stuff registered so I don't have to go and backlog it later. So stuff like that, ASCAP, and you want to make sure everything's in line, because, you can make some money if you're an independent artist, if you do things the right way.
Well, don't leave money on the tables.
Can't.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't. You
Don't
gotta
leave it
take
on
it
the
serious,
table, man.
You gotta take your art serious, and you gotta take your business serious as well. So that's always key.
That's something we're going to talk about music, and we're going to get into that business situation.
Okay.
Because there's a song that I love that's called Stole My Heart. Right?
You're bringing me back with that one,
Yeah,
man.
bro. I'm a sucker for R&B and hip hop confusions. You know what I mean? The dude could sing on your track. Speak about that song real quick.
So that song, Stole My Heart, is a song that I did with my producer, my favorite Dominican. He passed away. His name was Corona.
Oh, man.
He actually, so it's a little backstory behind it. Like, he actually was the first person who really got me in the studio. He was my first producer ever. So with projects like Open It Up and projects like Closer Than You Think, like, he produced a lot of records for me, and he was always telling me, like, this how you got to do stuff. This how you need to record. This what you need to do. So Stole My Heart I was like, you know what? I really want to do something that's like different. I want to do something about love. I want to do something about relationship. And I remember writing it as soon as the beat came on. And those type of songs actually write themselves, man. If you really hear the beat, like it sounds like something that makes you feel good. So that song honestly wrote itself. Rest in peace, Corona. Like he blessed me with that beat. Ben Carew, who's a dope artist too. I haven't spoken with him in a while, but I know he's doing big things too. He blessed the hook on it, and we just went to work. And a lot of people love that record because it's a feel good record, and it's good storytelling in my opinion. And I still listen to it to this day. So
No, fantastic storytelling, guys. Again, it's that one I found on SoundCloud. So you know, you
Yeah.
can go to SoundCloud and check that. Well, give us your socials and all that real
So
quick.
as at Spitz Nelson on Twitter, IG, on Facebook is Spitz Nelson. So everything is at Spitz Nelson. That's where you can find me. But most importantly, www.spitznelson.com. That's where all my merch is at. All the new projects will be there as well. But I'm on all DSPs. So I'm on all digital streaming platforms. Spotify, that song's on Spotify too. It's all closer than you think. So I'm everywhere. Just type in Spitz Nelson and you'll find my music.
Again, the business aspect on point. You also have your music on the gram, right? Like, could you describe to the people that process, right? How do you get? Because people always asking, "Yo, Angel, how you get your music on the gram?" I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have one of my artists tell us
So
how.
you mean like in terms of
Like when you search, you know, when you want to do a post, right, on the
Yeah.
stories, and I'm like at Spitz Nelson, you know, or looking for your this
Yeah.
I want stole my heart, right, on the to play as the song
For
in the
sure.
background. You know what I
For
mean?
sure. So like with stuff like that, I definitely challenge artists to research, but it's not as difficult as you think. It's really like when you're posting your content, right? All you really want to do is just click where you see that music and then just search whatever artist you want. If you have music there, you can just type in your name and you select the song that you have on the DSPs. And then you add your song. Like I tell everybody, you should do it. People should be hearing your music. Even the songs that you like, or the songs you think they would like, but put your own music in your stories. Put your own music on your posts. Share it. You know, it's a lot of people want to hear it.
Yo, bro, it's beautiful because most of your posts have your music right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so you're registered on the DSPs. There's a button you click to make it available on social networks.
For
correct?
sure.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's how you get it on
Yeah,
Instagram.
you just go into your music and then
Alright.
add it and click it and boom, you're good.
And bro, you put all your mostly a lot of your posts have your music on there, right?
For sure.
Could you elaborate more as to why that's the best idea to go about it?
So I think that it's the best idea because you never know who that post is going to reach. And also it's like other artists you might love, you listen to those artists in your car and stuff like that. But your social media page, if you're an artist, you want to make sure you get maximum visibility. You want to make sure that song that you're pushing, you might have 8 different posts you might want to do. I might have 10 posts right now that have the same song because that's the song that I'm really favoring. Like I've recently been pushing a song called Doing My Job. That's the song that I really, really love, along with others, but I've been pushing it out because I love those verses. I love the way those verses feel, even rapping them. So I put it out there because you never know who's going to see it.
What's your process when you're writing music?
So my process to writing music is play the beat, let it play on repeat. I might jot down a line or two, and then I'll sit with it. I'll just sit with that line, and then I'll think of like maybe 2 more lines. And most of the time, honestly, I'm not a person who finishes full songs all the way through. Like I'll get like 8 bars of it, get that feel like, oh, I love this. I'll start thinking of ideas for a hook, and then I'll chill. I might go to another song. Save it, like record it, save it, listen to it in my car. Like, I like these bars. But, all right, cool. I'm gonna be serious about this. So sometimes it takes me to really like something before I continue to do it because I record so much. I literally record every day. Like, so it's just one of those things. I don't have a conventional way, but you know, I record in spurts. Sometimes I might not even come back to a song until 3 months later. I don't force the process though. I never believe in forcing the process.
Do you do most of your recording in your in-house studio? Do you go to other people's studios? Like, you know, what's the deal with that?
So I used to go to big studio.
Okay.
And as of maybe like the past 4 years, I said to myself, I'm supporting the studios because without them, I wouldn't have a music career. But I've learned so much being in these studios. So, okay, this U87 microphone might cost $3 bands, but if I get this mic and I get this interface and I got this laptop, I know how to maneuver around it. All right, I can focus on recording it perfect as opposed to being on the clock. A lot of artists be uncomfortable when they're on the clock in these studios. And I always tell people, invest in yourself, invest in the studio so you can knock out songs and get these things done. And then you can listen to it. You might need to do some takes over and then invest in a top engineer to get you sounding right. Like my guy, my mix engineer, like he worked with a lot of bigger artists too, but you want your sound to be perfect. And a lot of people are rushing when they're on the clock. So I record most of my stuff at home. Today I might go to a studio, but most of the time at home.
What do you have in your in-house studio, and why did you decide to buy what you're about to mention?
So I did a U87 microphone because that's
Okay.
the first mic I ever used really in a big studio at Split Second. Shout out to Sip, man. Rest in peace, Sip. A lot of my people who taught me, unfortunately, they're not here at this point in time, but I learned a lot over the years. And he was somebody who taught me about equipment, and that was the mic that I love using. It made my voice sound great every time. So I bought that mic. I wound up buying an interface called an RME Babyface Pro. That is probably the best interface on the market. There's a lot of people who go with like Universal Audio and different things like that, but I'm a PC lover. I don't really use Macs. I think they're cool for iPads and different things, but I use PC when recording, and that just gives me the best sound. So, and I use Studio One as well. So, Studio One is just a program that I've worked with for like 7 years now. So I done mastered how to do everything on it. So that's just my recording setup, and I have some speakers and
What kind of speakers?
I have some small micro IK multimedia micro monitors, nothing too crazy because I always, work with my mix engineer. But the one thing I will say, my one go-to tool right now is the Slate VSX headphones, basically. And again, artists out there, definitely check those out. Those are headphones that emulate studios. So those headphones, they have an interface. You can check your music, how it sound in the car. You can check how it sound in the club. You can check how it sound in a like actual real $100,000, $200,000 studio. So you're not making those same mistakes. You can hear everything with clarity. So that's just some of the tools. And there's a list of plugins and stuff like that. But I'm recording right at home. I got a nice little comfy studio, and I'm thankful for it. And it's giving me some good results.
That's super awesome, bro, because that's something that gets lost in the sauce, right? I'm big on audio, right? I feel like, I don't care what the visuals are. If your audio is crap, people will continue going. You know what I mean?
It's tough to listen
and it's important to make sure you know how your stuff sounds on different equipment. It's gonna sound different on headphones than it is gonna sound on studio monitors, than it is gonna sound at the club. The fact that you using that program to make sure that your joint is balanced out is absolutely genius. Could you mention again what that program is so that people know?
It's actually headphones. It's called Slate VSX headphones by Slate Digital. Steven Slate, the guy he used to run the company. I think he sold it, but he created that. I think he's a genius for making that because that gives me the ability to sit in a coffee shop. I told you I like the whole coffee shop vibe. Throw that on, listen to how my mix would sound in different rooms. Even when I get a mix back, sit in my favorite shop. You know what I mean? And I'm listening. All right, this is how it sounds in the car. I don't gotta go nowhere. This is how it sounds in the club. If I do want to mix, I do like to mix here and there. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me mix in this Sonoma studio. Let me mix in this Archon studio, and I can mix it on replications of real speakers. They're modeled after real studios, so it's just an amazing product. And I really like using it. It's one of the best investments I've ever purchased.
That's super fire, bro. Super fire. Everyone, we're here with Spitz Nelson on deck here on the Angel of Words podcast. Don't forget, this podcast is sponsored by BJS Photography and Curtis Holmes' book, Eyes of the Soul, available on Amazon.com and Barnes and Noble. Now, Spitz, brother, I want to discuss how you have built yourself a universe via your website, right? I would say probably 15% of some of the, and I'm not trying to get at, I'm not trying to get at nobody. Don't feel no type of way. You know what I mean? I understand everybody has different time for a different thing, but you do have a website, which I feel is an invaluable resource, and it shows how serious you are about your craft. Where did you get your website done, and why did you choose to develop a website for yourself?
So I actually worked with hitmaker.com. It's a new company. Like they're going to be I definitely challenge everybody to check it out. They're going to be huge soon. I was one of the first people on that platform. I really worked with their team to get my brand out how I needed it with my own domain and my own site so that I could sell my merch, so I could sell my music, and so I could have visibility just in case one day maybe Instagram shuts down. Maybe something happens. At least I don't have to lose followers, and I'll have people connected with my email list. I'll have people knowing where to get my music. You never know. I don't know what could happen to these platforms, but it's a home base for me where people can always check out everything that I do. So I tapped in with them just because I knew at that point in time of me releasing projects that I want to be able to put merch out. I have new merch up there. Good Coffee Club merch. I'm gonna get you something soon.
Oh, bro, don't worry. I'll buy it, bro. Just send me the link.
Appreciate you. So
I like to support. You feel me?
I appreciate that. So
I'm not one of those people that be like, yo, that shit looks fire, B. Let me get one of those. And I'm like,
I
bro,
appreciate
it's available on the website. G, why you even waiting for me?
It's good quality too. So
good vibes.
It's good quality. I wanted to be able to sell my stuff on there. Like I got mugs on there. I got coffee mugs. I got hot and cold cups. I got tank tops. I got sweatshirts, tees, everything for the brand. So it's just, I think it's essential for artists to have that, and even for people who don't notice, CDs are still of value. So you may not say I want to get 1,000 CDs, but it might be cool to have 100 or have 50 because for people who don't notice, the streaming platforms, they're amazing. But if you're banking on streaming, you're really lost in the sauce. Like, streaming is not going to get you your house paid and get your car note paid. Streaming is just additional. Having your merchandise, having your album where they can pay what they want, having your T-shirts and all these cool things, or even on your email list, like it's a way for you to stay connected at all times. So I just think it's essential, and it was a necessity for me to do. So
shows, I don't see too many shows. What's up with the show situation?
Coming soon. I really was so locked in with the whole family. Like I had got married 4 years ago. So
congratulations, man. That's
appreciate
awesome.
Appreciate it. My beautiful wife, she supports my music, and when we had our son, I was like, you know what? I want to be the best dad I possibly can. So I really locked in on family life. You know what I mean? I still did my music, but now that my son is a little older, my twins, they're 1 year old right now, but things are easing up a little bit. So I'll probably pop back out and do some shows soon. I have a gig coming up. It's actually more of a listening. August 2nd, I'll send you the flyer. It's at Boogie Down Grind, and that's in the Bronx. So that's basically me doing a listening. I'm doing reviews for the project for Good Coffee Club 3. And anybody who reviews it, gives a shout out. We giving them free lattes, free cold brews. So we trying to hook up 50 people. I'm trying to touch the people in real life. So instead of doing it through the internet, I love the internet, but I got to meet people in real life too.
Nothing spreads faster than word of mouth, man, because word of mouth has tangible results. You know how many, artists, and it's unfortunate, right? They have a gigantic following on social media. We'll book them to do a show and 3 people pop out for them.
Yeah, and you know what?
And I feel bad. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, you would think this person is lit, but it's not translating.
And that's the difference. I will say, like, I've, and I introduced to my boy Rich. He could attest. Like, anytime I did a show,
shout out to Rich who's in the building.
Shout out
right
to
now.
Rich.
You already know.
But anytime we did a show and he was there, it was like we always had 50, 60 plus people. You know what I'm saying? We always made sure that we connected with people on a daily basis so we could get them, hey, pop out. You like the music? All right, cool. This is when the date is. Come check this out. And I'm blessed because people support it. It wasn't thousands, but it definitely wasn't an empty room. So I always was grateful for that.
Bro, like, it doesn't have to be thousands immediately, right?
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying? But, you want to get 10, 20, that'll build up to 40, 50, build up
Of
to
course.
100. You feel me?
course.
Like, you have to, you have to have some kind of following because if in person, because it's going to be hard for you to reach the level of success that you want.
I agree.
Right? Because the money's in the shows.
The money's definitely in the shows. And it's important to, even if you do have a show that is 10, 15 people, make sure you introduce yourself to all 10, 15 people. Make sure you connect with them. Make sure you're talking to them and letting them know, hey, let me get your email so I could, let you know when I do come to this other show. I really appreciate you being here, man. It was definitely like dope seeing you in the building. You heard my new song. If you like it, share it. So you got to connect with people no matter how many it is. It could be 10, it could be 100. I've performed in front of thousands of people. I performed in front of hundreds. I had an opportunity to perform on tour. You ever heard of Barstool Sports?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm a big sports guy, so for sure.
Quick story. So
I bet.
So Barstool Sports, they did a tour for an artist. This was years ago. An artist named Sam Adams. He signed. He was I think RCA somewhere. But they needed artists for the tour. So I submitted. It was like hundreds of people submitted or whatever. I was like one of the 4 artists selected. And we were doing shows at like Lupo's in Rhode Island, 2,000 people venue. They were packed, like Paradise Rock Club in Boston, that whole 1,000 people. So I've experienced that, and I know that it's very important to connect with fans, because when I wasn't a headliner on any of those shows, I went up there, I did my thing, killed it. People came to me like, yo, where can I find your music? And some of those people who I've met years ago still support me. When I drop something, they still support it. They still like it. They still say this is dope. They still purchase it through my Bandcamp. So it's just important to connect no matter how you do it. And even if even if it, like I said, it could be 50, it could be 100, wherever you're at, make sure you convert those fans into your fans. So.
Nah, bro. I like talking to people such as yourself that, you it seems like you're really tapped in, man, and that you engaged in what you're doing.
For sure.
Why is that so important to you? Because sometimes I feel like it gets lost. A lot of people get a little, they feel taxed by how, if artists specifically feel that it's taxing to do all these things and have to engage in all these things, because we do live in a new era. You have to do these things, right? What keeps you chugging along, G?
I think the main thing that keeps me going is I love music. I love creating music, and I'm creating music for them. So if I'm creating music for them, I need to find a way to get it to them, to connect to them. And I just feel like I don't mind talking to people. I don't mind chopping it up. I like meeting people. So it's not anything out of my norm. You know what I'm saying? I can have a conversation with a person. But also too, I don't think I'm so big that I can't connect with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have a facade on the internet where I'm just, even if I somehow next week I go and get 500,000 fans or whatever, I don't want to have that facade where I can't comment back or I can't chop it up with you. So it's just about being personable and, just really again, we keep saying the word, connecting with the people. Like, they support your music. And also too, there's so many artists out here. How do you differentiate yourself from them to yourself? So it's like I know I got 100 people who I follow who are artists, you know what I'm saying? So there's artists everywhere. Everybody's cousin is a rapper. Everybody's cousin is a singer. Okay, cool. How serious do you take it though? I know how serious I take it. I know I'll go into the grocery store and I'll have my music like, yo, scan this card. You like hip hop? Oh, where? All right, cool. Check out my music. It's dope. I think you'll like it. I'll pull up to a coffee shop and sit there. I might see somebody who might be listening to headphones. Yo, what you listening to? Oh, you listen to that? All right, cool. I like that too. Also, just so you know, I'm an artist. If you ever want to check out some dope music, I create all my music here in these coffee shops and different so-and-so. Check it out. If you like it, follow me. If not, I dig it. But yo, I appreciate any listen. Anytime you hit play, I appreciate you. So I hope you like it. Definitely check it out. So
That's it, man. Spitz Nelson know what's going on. And you know what's going on next, everyone. It's time to play. It's time to play Angels Off Topic Question. I got a little ahead of myself. It's Angels Off Topic Question here with Spitz Nelson. Cash App, AOWNYC, everybody. If you want to donate to the content creator and the sponsors, man. DJS Photography, go get them photos. And Eyes of the Soul by Curtis Holmes. Now, the off-topic question is, you played ball. You saw what happened this year, more than likely in the NBA. What's going to happen next year, bro?
In the NBA specifically?
Yeah, in the NBA specifically.
Man, the NBA is a tough thing to gauge, but I can tell you right now, OKC is not going to win it again.
Okay.
No, I know that for a fact.
Okay.
I think the West will be extremely competitive this coming season, just based on how everything has kind of shifted. But I mean, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so I know we ain't gonna be that good. Anybody who mad at that, I'm sorry, but I think LeBron is on his way out a little bit. I think Bronny's gonna have a good season off the bench.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
I'm putting that out there. Bronny's gonna have a good season.
Team Brownie over here.
Yeah.
Right,
Not. But you know what? Not for the reasons that people think. Not like for scoring and killing. I think defensively and being a good little role player, maybe the 8th, 9th player. But
he'll mature.
Exactly. He'll be a little bit better.
Copy. Wow.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nets, huh?
Brooklyn Nets.
You followed them over from New Jersey.
Listen, I had no choice, man. I don't mind getting on the 4 train and going to see them, man. But
wow.
Yeah, I don't mind. I miss them in Jersey, but I'm a Nets fan. The real Nets fan, though.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Kidd and them boys.
Even before that, Drazen Petrovic.
Jason Williams and them cats.
Keith Van Horn and all those dudes.
Facts.
Kenny Anderson. And
you a real fan. Derek Coleman, DC. Yep. Wow.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Great, my man. Brooklyn Nets. Any thoughts on the Knicks?
I think the Knicks are actually I'm supposed to hate the Knicks, but too many of my homies love them, so I ain't gonna disrespect them. I think they dropped the ball. This was their shot last season.
Yeah.
Dropped the ball.
I feel that way too.
I think they gotta get rid of Towns.
Okay.
I think Towns looked like better on paper, but I think with that team that they have, Julius Randle was a better fit.
Facts.
Julius Randle didn't have the same team that Towns had for that amount of time. So I think Towns, he a Jersey guy. I think he's a good player. He making his money, but just not a good fit.
Yeah, I want to root for him so badly. You know what I mean? Because he is a Jersey guy. He's from, but it's like, oh man, you make it. You're like a Monet painting. You look good from afar, but up close it's not. It's just
his energy is not the New York energy you need. It's not that. And I think also too they should have kept Dante DiVincenzo, that guy.
Yeah, I loved him. Man.
And right now too, I'm not sold on Bridges. I think Bridges cool, but I think you get rid of Bridges. I think you get rid of Towns. And you keep the rest of those pieces. OG Anunoby, that was a great pickup. He's a baller.
Him. Yeah, he's a baller.
But, Knicks, I mean, they lucky. They could do something this year because Tatum is still out.
And Halliburton's not going to play with Indiana.
Exactly.
And they lost Miles Turner.
Yeah, so they got a chance. But they dropped the ball.
All right, so I feel that way too, but you don't think Towns and Bridges is it?
Nah,
that's not going to take them there.
I think you make some shifts and move some pieces and you keep that core with Brunson. Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, even he, But I just feel like you keep Anunoby, you keep Brunson, and you get some wing players. You get a few more wing players who can play defense and shoot.
Okay,
that's what the league wants. But
I love it, man. Great breakdown. You know what I mean? It's not often I get to have a nice little sports breakdown in the middle of a segment. You know what I mean?
I love ball. So.
I always thought about doing a sports podcast. I'm like, everybody's on it. And I personally, how do you say? I'm not the biggest fan of always talking about somebody else and their greatness. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough doing a sports podcast because sometimes it's like you really got to go in on some of these players, especially the ones making a lot of money and playing sorry as hell. So, but it's something to consider, right?
Yeah. That's why we have Angel's all-topic question for people such as yourself. We can have a nice little combo. That was great, refreshing. Here with Spitz Nelson on the Angel of Words podcast. Now, moving forward, man, I enjoy the fact that you're so aware and you do it being a father, right?
Yes,
How
sir.
has that affected your mentality musically?
Wow, that's a great question. So I've never felt this passionate about music. I think that has a lot to do with having my children now. Before it was just me. And, I was running around doing what I want to do, but having my family and having my children, like, it helps me to become greater in all aspects of life. So I feel like I have more stuff to talk about. I have more topics. Like, I have more energy. And I will say, too, having less time sometimes it can be a good thing because it gives you the urgency you need. So being a father, I can't bullshit around in the studio for 6 hours. But I could do it for an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm taking that time to really make the dopest shit I could possibly make in that amount of time. And then I'm going back to be a father. So music is a way of life, man. So I'll never stop doing music. But my priorities are my kids. I want to raise my sons the best I can. I want to, I want to make sure that my family is good. I want to make sure my wife is good, and I want to make sure that I'm still doing music. So it's about having balance, but definitely more passionate since my kids came, like 100%.
Wow. And you feel like you do a good job of balancing all that?
You know what? Yes, I do. Because
Right.
a lot of times, when it comes to like making music, like I do what I got to do, put the kids down, play with them, take them to the park, take them vacation, whatever. When they sleep, all right, cool. I got this time. I cook up, but my day is creating the music anyway. So like, what's going on in life is really giving me the resurgence. Because even if you go back and you listen to Good Coffee Club 1, the first EP, a lot of that content is about my family. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about even on Rappuccino, I'm saying me and wifey are having twins. Like years of taking L's led to a life full of wins. Like, I don't write to pretend. Like, so it's creating the content now easier. Like this is the easiest time I've had writing music right now.
Is there a particular L you took in life that motivated you?
Oh man, I done took hundreds of L's, bro.
Yeah.
I done
But
took
is
a
there
lot.
one specific or a couple specifically that you can speak on that might help the public that might be going through something that might be similar to what you went through?
I think one of the like biggest things I'll say that's an L is like me just kind of being stagnant at a certain point in my life where I didn't really give my 100% in all areas. I felt like I was 100% in music, but other areas of my life, I was just dropping the ball. So I was like, I got tunnel vision on just one area. And I feel like you got to look both ways when you cross the street. You got to make sure you might be in this lane, but make sure nothing is happening over here or over here. So I feel like the L that I took was just, just coasting through life and not keeping all my priorities intact. But yeah, I done had some downfalls, man. And I'll tell anybody, just make sure you focus on your priorities and just make sure that you are every day like trying to get better.
Too many nights at the club type vibes?
Yeah, you know what? For me, it wasn't, my younger days, I would hit up the club, but it was just me just really in the studio all the time, just not putting in 100%, even when I was in the studio. Like I was making music and I was there, but I was just, I was smoking 10 L's a day, you know what I'm saying? Like going through a zip, in a day and a half, whatever. My homies would tell you, but I really wasn't locked in. Like I still was doing, it looked like on the surface, what I was doing was all right, but my potential I wasn't reaching my potential. I was bullshitting. I was bullshitting. I still was getting shit done, but not to the level that I know I could get shit done to. So that's the L I took in life.
Being a father, being a black man, you're married, that's awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you guys get a lot of flack, man, for not getting married, you know what I'm saying? For, being absentee dads, I feel is a terrible, terrible stereotype because first of all, you don't know, every relationship is different, one. And, bro, like,
yeah.
why even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't
agree.
see it, right?
Yeah.
The black men I know all married, they have children, they take care of them. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
it's one
wild.
of those things.
Yeah,
where
man. Does that piss you off? Like when you hear, like, let me know, man, because I want to know how you feel.
It does piss me off, and I think it's because it might be just the people that they see. It's like a small sample size, and a lot of times, like the people who are, being good fathers and being good family people, whatever, they may not get the light because it's boring. It looks boring. You know what I'm saying? It's not glamorous. So for them to talk about the other shit, that's more like exciting to talk about because you can shit on that. You can talk shit. Nobody really wants to say, wow, what a good family man. He's taking care of his kids. They do it here and there, but it's not as glamorous. But I think personally, there's a lot of black men who take care of their families and are good fathers. And they don't get the love they deserve at all times. But the people who are showing love and supporting, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Word, big up to y'all, man. State of hip hop, man. What your thoughts?
Hip hop is in a great place right now.
Okay.
So
why do you feel that way?
I feel that way because I said this many years ago. I said one day it's gonna come back around and people are gonna have to rap again. And now, if you notice it, when you're listening to Griselda, and you're listening to Rock Marciano, the new Clips album drop, Kendrick Lamar, he's been out. But you got all these artists who are supreme lyricists.
Yeah, Cash Cobain, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
facts.
a lot of people from Gorilla Nims. He's from New York.
Facts. From Coney Island, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a friend of mine actually manages, he works with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people who are who are not rapping, it's slow for them. But it's back to where people want to hear a dope MC. A lot of the music that's for the club, we still gonna listen to that in the club when we go out and chill and do whatever. But nowadays, I think it's good because people are locked into good projects, good rappers, lyrics, and it's a great time for hip hop right now.
Who were your motivations growing up?
So my motivations growing up, outside of hip hop, Bob Marley.
Copy.
Within the hip hop realms, definitely Jay-Z, Nas, my favorite group ever, Outkast, Wu-Tang, Biggie. So there's a lot of people. You know, it even goes back to Rakim, and then if we want to slide up a little bit, even, you know, I'm gonna go left on this one. MF Doom is one of my favorite rappers.
Interesting. Okay.
MF Doom is one of my favorite rappers. So I listen to a lot of different music, but you know, I'm a hip hop lover in general. So
what makes you love Outkast so much?
Oh man, that was the first Outkast is actually one of the first reasons why I wanted to rap.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. So I started. I remember too. You know, I grew up in a family who was very religious in church and stuff. So I was late onto hip hop. But when I started listening to hip hop, I remember like I heard an Outkast song and I was like, yo, these dudes are spitting it down and they not from up north. I remember going out, buying their music, and then I started listening to Talib Kweli. Then I started listening to Mos Def. I already knew Jay-Z, listening to Nas and stuff like that. But hearing them be so lyrical and so dope coming from where they came from, I was like, yo, there's people in Atlanta spitting like that. So yeah, that's why I've always been a huge fan of Outkast, man. I love their creativity and their lyricism.
That's fire, man.
Yeah.
Favorite Outkast track?
Favorite Outkast track, I would say Skew It on the Barbie.
Okay.
Skew featuring Raekwon.
Yeah. What's your favorite track for yourself? What song did you have the most pride in?
So the song that I have the most pride in, I would say that would be, I'm Great off one of my first like real albums. Corona produced that track because I think I have a lot of pride in that song because the song is called I'm Great, but I was rapping that to myself. That whole song, nobody knows that. That song, I was rapping that to myself.
It's like you looking in the mirror type vibes. That's fire.
Just saying it to myself because I needed to motivate myself at that point in time. So, you know, I moved swift in and out of the States, couple shows trying to get that cake because I'm great. Fast paced. I'm watching for the Jakes. Like, I'm great. Like, I'm telling myself, like, yo, you're great. Like, keep telling yourself that. Sometimes we need that motivation.
Oh, you ain't lying. When it comes to your swag, is it something you struggle with? Do you have people dress you, but you're just comfortable doing what you do?
Nah, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable doing me. Like, I ain't never had to, you know, I ain't never struggled in picking out something fly or doing what I need to do. But you know, if somebody give me some good advice and told me this is dope, I'll take their advice. I'm not against somebody saying like, yo, that would look dope on you. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Anything that annoys you, that, you know what I'm saying? Like in the music process, you know what I mean? Things that you could do without.
So the one thing that annoys me in the music process is reaching out to artists to work and the artist thinking that they're too big or they don't have time for you. Because the reason why I say that is because every opportunity that you get to be in front of like fans or be in front of a different audience, you should be taking that unless you're already being booked everywhere. So that annoys me because I'm always an artist. For one, I cheerlead all day to a lot of artists. Like I cheerlead for artists if I think you're dope. I don't have an issue with that. But it's like, if we could connect and make something fire, let's do it. Like, you're too big. I'm reaching out to you. In my own right, I could say like, yo, you know what? I'm 10 times better than you if I really want to say it, like lyrically, everything. But I don't. I try to connect it. And if they don't want to work, I always say that it annoys me because you missed the opportunity to work with somebody who is hungry, who going to push the culture, who going to push your brand, push my brand. So that's the only thing that really annoys me at this point in time, of just finding ways to collaborate with dope people.
Damn, do you feel like there's a lack of professionalism?
I think it is a lack of professionalism because I'm only knowing that because the people that I am working with now, we getting it done. Like I'm locking in with so many dope artists right now from all over the country right now. I got a ton of features that that I'm working on right now. So soon, very soon.
You want to
So,
discuss it? What the people should be expecting? You know?
yeah, I got a bunch of stuff with Kylito, my producer who did Rebuild. Obviously me and Slim, we locked in. VVS Slim, shout out to him on IG. But also too, I'm working with this dope artist he's actually in Iowa right now. His name is Classic. Super fire. We locked in. We hit up some we basically did a few joints. We did like 4 or 5 tracks together. I just did a new song with Iron Mike on my project. I don't know if you heard of Ruthless Bastards. Iron is legendary on Staten Island. He used to be signed with the Woo. He worked a lot with Method Man. So me and him locked in, and the last track I was able to get that in. I was like, "Yo, Iron, I need you on this track, please." So
Paid features, or like, are you paying for the features, or they're just locking in with you?
It depends. It depends. But Iron is my bro, so that's my brother. Like, I speak to him every day, so that's not. So the people who are within my circle, nah, never. I do a verse, you do a verse. But if I think you dope, I don't mind. I respect everybody's hustle. I respect everybody's craft. Like, if you're dope and I want you on a record, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get you on the record, because it's not about me. It's about getting the song done and making it amazing for people to listen to.
Hey, man, I fudge with that, man. And Spitz, we've reached a point in the podcast where it's time to play 5 words.
Let's do it
with Angel. Now it's time to play 5 words with Angel.
All right, give me the rules one more time.
For sure. On 5 words with Angel, I'm going to give you a word, a phrase, or a question. You're going to give me the first word that comes to your head.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. When 5 words with Angel, sponsored by BJS Photography, Curtis Holmes, Eyes of the Soul. You want to donate to the content creator? It is Cash App, AOWNYC. Now, the first word on 5 words with Angel is hoodie season, which is one of your tracks on SoundCloud.
That's a good one. Boston.
I bet. The next word is NEWARK. What comes to your head when you think about NEWARK?
Home.
Bet. The next word is father.
Love.
The next word is coffee.
Addiction.
And the fifth and final word on 5 words with Angel is basketball.
Wow, basketball. Life.
I bet.
Life. Played it all my whole life. Even played it this morning. So.
I bet. All right, we won 5 words with Angel here with Spitz Nelson, man. Easy peasy, nice and easy. Before I get to my next segment, just describe the situation with you and coffee, G.
So it's one of those things so I used to drink coffee to do everything, right? But not at this level. I think when I had kids, that's when coffee really took over my life. Like, my kids wasn't sleeping. My first son, Josh, he wasn't sleeping. So I would be up with him and I was drinking coffee, and then I would have to get up in the morning. So it turned into like, I need this thing. Like, I need this to stay awake, to, oh shit, this is Ethiopian coffee? All right, let me hit up the Nespresso store. This is made in Uganda. Why is it made here? Like, are these notes better? Is this more bold? Is this roast like more flavorful? Should I mix this with this? So it became an obsession, but it also became something that I enjoy like learning about. Like, I'm actually planning on taking a barista class in 2 weeks in Brooklyn to learn how to really, chef it up with the coffees, like to learn every little thing about them.
Make a little heart and stuff like that.
Yeah, all that cool shit.
I learned that stuff on the fly, bro.
Yeah,
I'm bartending all these years.
Listen, and TikTok now. You go on TikTok, they're doing all type of crazy stuff with it. So it's dope. I love it. It's a passion. Side note too, I actually reached out. Actually, a company, Real Dope Coffee, they just sent me a whole bunch of coffee to try out. So I'm hoping to be a brand ambassador for them soon, but I'll post and let them know what I think about the coffee. It's amazing. I already tried it, but I'm gonna give y'all a real review. But yeah, I'm hoping to work with some coffee brands in the future.
And hopefully they pay you, not just try to pay you with free coffee. These brands, bro.
Nah, man, it's all love.
So crazy.
Yeah, it's all love.
You know what I mean? Like, my thing is like, man, brands, man, like, oh Lord, because I do bookings for for someone that's an influencer in the travel and tourism game, and I reach out to people and like, oh yeah, we'll give you this for free, and we'll take your content forever and make mad boku bucks off of it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, we trying to get paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to do this shit for free for some free coffee. You think? Like, what we talking about over here?
But I will say this though, like people that I do work with though, even like Real Dope Coffee, like I actually like what they about.
Copy.
So I'm tapped into what they're doing like in the community and how they came up. So it's one of them things like I actually I fuck with them. I think they're a cool company.
Hey man.
So, other companies I feel you though.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Real Dope Coffee, it's called.
Real Dope Coffee,
Man. It is what it is, man. That's how Spitz feels about it. That's how he feels about it. Before we let you go though, could you look into this camera right here?
Yes, sir.
Some words of inspiration to anybody out there trying to start music or trying to make music.
All right, so if you're trying to start music, I would say just make sure it's something that you really want to do, because it's going to take a lot of hard work, and you really got to be serious about your business. So I would say just focus, lock in on that love that you have for music. If you don't love it, it's not going to work. So make sure you love it. Make sure you're putting maximum effort in. And just make sure you don't get discouraged about your friends and your family and different people supporting you. Don't worry. If you're nice, you're going to have way more supporters than your social group of 30 people. So just don't get discouraged, and just make sure that you, you keep yourself in a good space and stay positive. Like it's hard putting yourself out there, and you're going to receive criticism, but just stay positive and continue to push forward.
Spitz Nelson, Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, the building, New Jerusalem. Shout out to my people in Elizabeth, New Jersey. I love you. You already
Shout out to Elizabeth, man.
OTW Threads, you already know. My cousin Elizabeth, Speak Up series, you know what I'm saying? An artist showcase, which I'm going to try to link you with that since you're out, you know what I mean? Cool. Since you're in Jersey, you know what I mean? She's the queen of Union County.
Yeah, let me know.
So definitely want to link you up with her. Everyone that was... For sure, brother. Thank you for pulling up, man. I appreciate your time here today. Folks, that's what it is, baby. Spitz Nelson here. Don't forget to tap on the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow us on all podcast platforms. Don't forget to reach out to us for anything at Angel of Words ENT on all socials. AOWENT.com, the website. If you want to donate to the content creator, Angel of Words and Angel of Words Entertainment, Cash App, AOWNYC. Thank you for tuning in. Te quiero, Puerto Rico. Santa Isabel.
Peace.
Live from the Angel of Words Studios from Newark, New Jersey, spitting his track Barista, we have Spitz Nelson.
I let the beat play. Baby, this the cheat day. Went from college dropout to graduate, I need the meat, Y'all be disappointed if life showed you a replay. My number wasn't called, but it was game speed on each play. I done sold a lot, this is the reap day. Jackpot, the have-nots done hit the sweepstakes. Some of y'all advice, it sounded more like cheap hate. Got the money back, now that's a rebate. We great, no I'm not surviving. Baby boy, I'm thriving. Oceans full of blessings, now you see why I'm diving. Cast iron, big skillet when I'm frying. If I spit a 16, you hearing sirens, get a hydrant. I pray for peace and my frenemies took flight. Stay away from me if your energy's not right. If memory serves me right, you had jokes, but that's alright. Even in a dark place, they were jealous of my light, throwing shade out of spite. I ain't trying to wait 2 weeks. When I speak, I'm getting paid overnight. One of the greats, no overhype. I hope you know the price. Death, one of the goats. Throw me over some rice. Cafe bars, I'm a barista. Espressos when I'm banging out the speakers. You don't know my name like Alicia. Rappers too scared to do a feature. I'm good everywhere, I'm a visa. Cafe bars, I'm a barista. Espressos when I'm banging out the speakers. You don't know my name like Alicia. Rappers too scared to do a feature. I'm good everywhere, I'm a visa. Full-time dad, rap at my leisure. Y'all on the gram, showing off your sneakers. I came a long way from breakfast cold pizza. I'm somewhere out the way, poking nose at the ski club. Heating up, different levels, got 'em reaching up. A little out of shape, but on the track, you ain't keeping up. Keep it a buck, y'all some frauds, I done seen enough. Over there waiting for hand handouts, that scene is rough. People always act fake until they face real life situations, then they fold paper plates. All of my challenges in life, I went 8 for 8. And sure about an MH, ain't worried about you snakes. Then they always wanna tell me what it takes, but they never did shit in their life, and it's too late. My shoulders carry the weight, your heart carries the hate. Losses turn to wins, and I ain't mad at my fate. Cafe bars, I'm a barista. Espressos when I'm banging out the speakers. You don't know my name like Alicia. Rappers too scared to do a feature. I'm good everywhere, I'm a visa. Cafe bars, I'm a barista. Espressos when I'm banging out the speakers. You don't know my name like Alicia. Rappers too scared to do a feature. I'm good everywhere, I'm a visa.
You already know that coffee life was real. The Angel of Words podcast here with Spitz Nelson, killing it. Where can we find you, bro?
Y'all can find me at Spitz Nelson on IG, at Spitz Nelson on Twitter, and most importantly, www.spitznelson.com for all my updates and my music. Holla at me.
New Jersey, Brick City, stand up. You know what it is. Te quiero Puerto Rico. Santa Isabel.
Hello, it's yours truly, Angel of Words here. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this content, we have much, much more. So subscribe to the channel, click on these icons to the right and the left of me, and partake in the Angel of Words universe. Hope to see you soon.